Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I am here to bring you a little card using this they're called split card texture dies. And I am going to be using those, but first I want to pull up on my iPad and make sure that I'll be able to focus you guys on screen. It always takes a little longer to get that up than it does to, when I first come on here. It doesn't, it's about 12 second thing behind. I plugged my phone in, make sure we're good to go there. I almost forgot to do that. And with it being in the evening right now, means my phone is probably going to die. Whoops. So anyway, now I'm ready. I'm never ready, you know, it's just terrible. Anyway, last day of the month. Tomorrow starts July 1st, which, can you believe it's already July? Not me. It has just gone, this year's gone just so fast. I just don't know what to do with it. My light is glaring in my eyes. But anyway, tomorrow starts our new catalog, the July to January, or the end of December mini catalog, and that is full of holiday stuff. It has some that's non-holiday stuff, and there's some holiday stuff in there that you can use year-round, which makes it really, really nice. There is also mini sweets, mini bundles, all kinds of stuff in there. Also, it is the start of celebration, which goes from July through August. So for every $100 you spend, you can pick out a free item, except for if there's a few in there that is if you have to spend $100 to get them. There's also a, it's like a little, I want to call it a hostess set, because you have to have $300 in orders, or your orders together as a friend, whatever, and you can get it. So tomorrow we'll be able to see the catalog live. That'll be fun. But right now I want to show you this card that I made. I made a couple for samples, and I just want to show them to you using the split card dies, because other than that, I don't think that, you know, people really notice them maybe. So let's flip. If you get dizzy, close your eyes. We're going up into my little camera hole. That's what I call it, my little camera hole. And I'm going to bring that down, get my cord out of the way now that my phone is up, my eraser out of the way. Bring my cards down just a little bit. And I did have my host code little thing for you to be able to get my host code in that if you need it. It's right here. Has my email address, my YouTube address, which you should know if you're on my YouTube channel right now, my Facebook group, and my July host code. So if you need to take a screenshot of that, if you don't have a demonstrator and would like to place an order, I would love to be that demonstrator that you order with. I am trying to grow my business. If you also would like to become a demonstrator and don't have a demonstrator to work with, I'd like to be your upline and do that. So just take down my information. If any of that interests you, get a hold of me, and I would be glad to talk to you and help you. You do know that on my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP, I do put my directions, has everything I used and how I did it. And there are tons and tons and tons of directions over there in the files. And they are listed by name of whatever I tell you this is. And you'll see a description of the name of this, and that is also the name of the file folder. So that should help you a little bit in finding files if you do go over there. I do want to show you this stamp set in the catalog, or the die cuts. It's the split card textures dies. They are right here, and they're really, really cool. I like them. I did just a couple examples, nothing fancy to do, really pretty easy cards, but I want to show you how, when you cut these, what they look like, and just two different things that you can do with them. So with that being said, we are going to get started. I'll show you what we are using for sure. We will be using the texture dies, which are these right here. We will also be using the this little label or tag out of the Cracker and Treat box of dies. And I will be using the Happy Birthday out of the art gallery. So that is the dies and stamps we're going to use. And I'm also using the glitter. It's called Glimmer Paper, and there's 6x6, and it's the 2022-2024 in colors. And I am using the Sweet Sorbet and the Parakeet Party. So I just wanted to show you those. And that'll be what we're using. Here is a card that I also did. This one is with, I call this the more abstract looking die. This is like a plaid die. Mine's crooked, but that's okay. Anyway, what I did is I cut that off of the, you know, because this whole black is one piece, and I just cut off all of that to have just the die section to put on there. And I just made a very elegant white card. It says, wishing you better days, which that stamp is out of the stamp set called Better Days. So nothing fancy here as far as that. It's just very elegant. In my inside of my card, I just added one of the leaves that I punched. I used the bow punch for the leaves, and I used the medium daisy for the daisies, and the iridescent gem for the center of the flower. And if you can see, all I did was flip my paper. This, I put the dark up here with the light down here, the dark's down here, and the light is at the top. If you want to comment on that and let me know which one you like, I would like that. It was kind of both ways in my Facebook video that they liked on both ways. I kind of do too, and it just depends on, I just think this one has a brighter look to it. This one has more of a, I don't know, I want to say a darker, more, I don't want to say a harsh look, because I don't want to say it's a harsh look. It's just got more downtone. It's more downtoned than what this one is. So anyway, let me pull these up here out of the way. I hope you've gotten to screenshot this if you've needed it. And I also, while I'm getting out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so we can cut our die, I'd like for you to share my video and to also give me a thumbs up if you, when you watch this, if you like it. I would really like for you to do that, and to subscribe to my channel. If you have not been here before and subscribed to it, just hit that little bell down underneath the video and subscribe to the channel and get notifications of when I do videos. Haven't done one in a couple weeks. I was very sick last week, and I kind of didn't do either video. I have two that I want to do. I'll be putting up pretty quick, one right after the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to use my platform. And I have the magnetic board, which is no longer available. But I'm using it. I just want to see how long it'll go. They said they had trouble with it splitting apart from the magnet. And I just want to see how long it goes. So I'm just keeping on using it. I really like it. Let me just say that. So let me get my piece of 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to put my light up a little bit. 5 1/4 by 4 piece of black, and I'm going to lay my die on top of it. And I'm going to lay it in this lower, what will be my lower right-hand corner. I'm going to leave a border around. That gives me room to glue. And I want to make sure I get that. It's hard to move around on this paper. I'm sorry if you hear me cough. It is from post-nasal drip is what they say. That's not why I was sick, but I got that along with everything else that I had. So anyway, lots of fun. So let's run this through. My table's going to shake because I am on a plastic table, which I love. My plastic tables are easy to move around, but they're not as sturdy as one of the big heavy ones. So let me show you what this is going to look like when you take it up. Brought it over here so you can see it better. I'm going to take up my die. Then I'm going to take up and it will basically leave all of the papers down. But I will be bringing in, I use a paper pumpkin box and just rub over what needs to come out with my pick tool brush that goes for my dies. I just want to get them all out. Forgot, I got the wrong bottom on that one. So I've got a little pick tool over here I use too. I use all kinds of stuff. Okay, so there it is. It's really easy to clean. And we have all this die mess in here. And then what I'm going to do here, you can see it's all stuck to my magnetic plate. So I just take it and I take my brush and I just brush that what I can get off. Try to get most of it off that way. I find that just helps before I have to rub it all off. And then I just rub the rest of it and get those off. A lot of little pieces in there, ladies, but they do come out really nice. And you notice I only ran it through once. I didn't have to keep running it through. So there we go. That is cleaned off. Now what I'm going to do real quick, because we have one other thing I want to cut out. So I'm going to take a piece of scrap right here. And I'm going to take my happy birthday stamp with my Memento Black. I'm going to stamp and cut out my little tag that I'll be using, okay? So let's just ink that up. Sorry I have to make so many sounds, but I tell you what, this stuff really wanted to kick my butt. But I'm very sick. I ended up with a UTI, but it really was a little different than the UTI I had, about the way it started and stuff, with extreme pain. I've never had pain with a UTI like I had with this one. And I had to lay just horizontal in a recliner for about 3 days. I could not sit up or do anything from the pain. And so I lost a lot of time in my stamp room. You know, when you want to get down there and you can't sit up, and you sure can't stamp laying down. I didn't try it, but I didn't think that was really a good thing to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and cut this. And then we'll have everything cut out. You don't have to listen about me and all my crazy stuff I get. I ran fevers up to 103. When I was first sick, before they got the antibiotics and stuff. So, you know, I was really like, oh goodness, never been that sick, I don't think. Not that I can remember. If it has been, it was a long, long time ago. So, that wasn't for me, girls, guys, anybody watching. I don't like being sick, that's for sure. Okay, we're putting the dies back away. We're getting that out of our way. Everything else I have cut, and we're ready to just slap this card together. Let's move this little guy out of our way. Okay, here we go. So we have our 5 1/4 by 4 piece of black that we're going to put on the front of our card, which is also the basic black, and it's 4 1/4 by 11. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to fold that, give it a nice score, And then I have a 3-piece by 5 1/8. I cut it a little bit shorter, so when I put it on the back here, I can have room to glue it. And I think I'm going to put it this way. I think I tend to like the lighter down. But you can tell me in the comments, and of course I won't see them until later, what you liked. I would be happy to hear from you on that. So what I'm going to do is just take a line of glue, and I'm just going to run it down. I just want that to hold. And then I'll add some right in here because I know that paper will go out that far. So this is going to go down. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see to get it on the bottom here and not have it overlap. So that should be good. Let's turn it over. We're just going to rub that really good. We want to burnish that so that it holds. We don't want it popping up anywhere. Actually, I want to take my little guy like this. Kind of gives it more of an even there we go. So we have that. So we are going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the black dimensionals and we're going to pop this up. So let's just pop these up really, really quick. And I want it to really hold it up. I do that in most of my cards. I put a lot of dimensionals on there to make sure it holds it up. Make sure I got my card opening the right way. I've been known to do that too. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it on here. There we go. Isn't that pretty? All the glimmer and stuff in there. It really makes a pretty card. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our medium daisy, and I'm using 3 daisies. And what I'm going to do with these daisies right now, and why I had this tip on this, is I'm going to use this scoring like. And I'm just going to bring my flowers up a little bit, make them stand up a little bit. And I'm going to take some glue dots and I'm going to glue them together, one on top of the other, just at a different little angle. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this one. I'll add it here between, and I'll kind of add that over like that. And then I'll take the next one. Whoops. Now that's going to make me a Love Me, Love Me Not flower and pull its petal off. That wouldn't be nice, would it? And then I'm going to bring this one in and lay it on top of those. And I have my layers. So then what I'm going to do is take a dimensional, put in the middle of the flower. I'm using black so it doesn't show up so much on that black cardstock. And I'm just going to stick my flower about right here. And I will take my tool again. And I'm just going to, because this will make it stay really good. There we go. This has a little bit of dimension to it. I'm going to go ahead and take one of my, here are the iridescent gems. I colored one with the sweet sorbet, but it took all the iridescent away. So I thought, well, that's not good. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to use it plain, pop one, and just stick it in the center just to give it a little color. I didn't want to take away from, well, that was crazy. I didn't want to take away from my daisy, but I didn't want to add a ton of color either. So there's that. And then we are going to use the, I'll show you. I used the bow punch, which if you don't know what that is, it's this one. It was in the Christmas catalog, the mini catalog that ended in January. No, it was the one that ended this in June, the end of May, or the end of June. But it's carried over in the new catalog, so I used this leaf right here. And then here's the daisy punch. The big daisy punch has been discontinued, but this one we still have. Now my leaves, what I did with when I punched them out, because of the paper being gradient, I started here and punched, and so I'd have light and dark leaves. So if you can see those right here, you'll see that they're different colors. There's from light to dark, and you can really tell it on those two right there. So, okay, let's move these off of this pad, my piercing mat, so that we can put our leaves on. And what I did with our leaves is I took scissors and I cut my stem off a little bit because I didn't need all of that stem in under there. Let's undo the glue. And I'm going to put just a little bit of glue, and I'm going to stick it right in under here. And when I do that, I'm just going to take my scissors and go up in under that flower and kind of push on the petals that I put the glue on. Then I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut off a leaf. I don't need it that long. So I'm using a partial piece, and I'm just going to put glue at the bottom two leaves and I'm going to stick that up in here. It gives a little variation down here. I'll go ahead and press on those leaves. Make sure that that sticks. Okay, then I'm going to take a leaf, and here again I'm going to cut off that edge, bottom stem. I'm going to add some glue, and I'm going to add that right above here. Come on, stay right there. And there I have some leaves. I'm going to bring in my happy birthday, and I'm just going to glue it down here to have a sentiment. I always like a sentiment on the front of my card. I very seldom will make a card without something on the front. And that's just personal preference. Okay, I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch basic white cardstock. We're going to open our card, and I'm going to adhere this to the inside. I'm going to use my leaf, and I'm going to cut this at an angle. I'm going to, here again, I'm going to add some glue to just hold that on. And I'm going ahead and put it on all of them because I want it to stay down with it being on the inside of the card. So I'm going to just line that where I cut that on an angle. It'll go right at the bottom of my card. And we'll just hold these down for a second. And that's the inside of our card. So there's the front, and here's the inside. Very easy card. You could put designer paper down here. You could use any color background. There's just so much you can do. And my white card, I wanted to make it really super simple. So I used the butterfly dies. I used the other die that's in this set, and then just cut it completely apart and added it for texture. Put on some embellishments, added a sentiment, and called it a card. So that in itself is just what I've done this time. I really hope that you enjoy it, and I hope you try it if you have these dies or something similar, because they will make great cards, okay? So with that being said, I will close for now, and I hope to see you again soon, and everyone have a blessed day. Bye.